everyone and welcome to another wrap-up video. I am going to be doing a wrap-up every Friday now because I read 24 books in the month of July. I'm just feeling that's a little bit overwhelming to be doing a monthly wrap-up for, to remember everything I want to say about all the books and to also cover them on a reasonable time frame. So yeah, this week we'll cover all of July, and then next Friday will be the first 2 weeks of August, and from there on I'll just be able to do normally weekly wrap-ups like anyone else would. And they'll be up every Friday. I record videos on Wednesdays and Fridays, so on Wednesdays I'll either do book hauls or top 5 Wednesdays or tags, and then every Friday will always be a wrap-up for that week. So I hope that works for you, because it's going to work for me. So on to what I read in July. The first book I listened to was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and I gave this book 3 stars. Obviously I'm not going to be going into too much detail on all these books because I've got 24 of them to cover, and also a lot of them I've already covered either through video reviews that I've done for an individual book or that I've done in other wrap-ups for readathons and whatnot, so hopefully I can get away with being quite brief with these. The second book I listened to was The First by Jason Mott. That was a short story from the Returned series, and I gave it 4 stars and I really enjoyed it. I've not picked up anything else in that series yet, and I really want to because I feel like it's right up my street. I loved it. The basic premise for the story is that a guy got knocked down by a bus, I think he was in some sort of bus accident otherwise, and he died, and then about a month later, I think it was a month, this is what I mean, I can't remember stuff, a bit later on, he just suddenly turned up to work one day as if everything was normal, as if he hadn't died. He had no recollection of any accident. As far as he was concerned, it was just a normal day. He'd gone to work as if it was a normal day and no time had passed at all. Obviously this didn't go down very well at work, and the police got called and this, that and the other. And not an awful lot more really happens beyond sort of looking into that in this short story. So I'm really excited to pick up the rest of the series because, like I said, I'm really excited about that one. The third audiobook I listened to was Christmas Present by Jodie Taylor, and that's part of the St Mary's Chronicles, and I gave that 3 stars. Then the fourth book I listened again to another audiobook, and that was The King's Speech by LOGUE. I gave that one 5 stars and put it on my favourites list. I watched the film quite a few years back now and I absolutely loved it. So when I picked up the audiobook I was expecting to love it. However, I didn't expect it to be so different to the film. The film sort of covers more sort of the King's side of things, whereas the audiobook's more about LOGUE's side of things. The actual book itself is written by his grandson or his great-grandson or something like that, and it's just really fascinating to learn more about that whole time period, about everything that was going on. It just really opens your eyes, and this book made me cry several times. I loved it. Highly recommend it if you're into your history. Then the 5th book I finished in the month of July was The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. Now this one, as with any short story collection, sorry I'm getting really distracted by a really flustered bird out there. Oh, his feathers are flapping everywhere. As with any short story collection, you get a mixture of some that you're going to like more and some that you're going to potentially quite dislike. And this happened with this. Some of them I enjoyed quite a bit, some of them I thought were really dull and really struggled to hold my attention, and I actually found myself thinking, why am I even reading this? So in the end I gave it 3 stars just to sort of represent my average overall feeling, I suppose. The 6th book I finished was Stuck in the Passing Lane by Jed Ringer. This one was a memoir about a guy who splits up from his wife and sort of tries the whole dating scene again. And it's very honest, it's very raw, it's a little bit crude at times, but if you can handle all that, it's actually a really fun read. And you sort of feel like you're going on this journey with him, although it does take a long time to learn from his own lessons. It's a really fascinating read, I highly recommend it. I gave it 4 stars. Then I read Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan. Dropping them everywhere. Saga Volume 2. Oh no, I bent it. Oh no. I bent it dropping it. Saga Volume 3. So I gave all 3 of these 5 stars. I absolutely loved them. If you don't know what these are about, first of all, what planet have you been living on? Because these have been all over BookTube for quite a long time now. These are quite different, is probably the best word to describe it. The graphics are fantastic. Let me try and find a page that, yeah, that doesn't really reveal too much. It's just wonderful artwork. It also doesn't really show off the artwork that well, though, with it being such a bland page. There we go, look at that. Just a 2-page spread there. It's about this couple of aliens, and they're from totally different planets, I think if I remember correctly. And they get together and make a baby, and it's sort of almost like an alien Romeo and Juliet, is probably the best way of putting it. I highly recommend it. Check it out. The 10th book I finished was The Dying Hours by Mark Billingham. Again, this is an audio book I listened to again last month. I liked it. It wasn't anything outstanding, although the narrator was also Mark Billingham and his voice was quite a sort of soothing one to listen to, so I gave it 3 stars. Then the 11th book I finished was The Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black, and I loved this book. I gave it 4 stars. I think that you're best going into this book blind. I certainly did, and I enjoyed it more for that. I did know that it had been compared to Harry Potter quite a lot, both the cover and the content, but beyond that I didn't really know anything about it, and I thought it was best doing it that way. I really enjoyed it. It surprised me. A lot happened that I didn't expect to happen. It didn't stick with ordinary tropes at all. And the other thing I would say is, when you do start reading it, just try and ignore the fact that it does feel like you might be reading Harry Potter all over again. Just don't even think about it. Accept this book for what it is, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too. So then the 12th book I read was Welcome to the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare. I can't really say an awful lot about most of these novellas when I pick them up, because obviously they're going to spoil you for the Mortal Instrument, so I'll only say the bare minimum for whatever I can for each one, as I did read a fair few of them last month. That one I gave 4 stars to. And the 13th book I read was The Lost Herondale, again by Cassandra Clare, and I gave that one 4 stars as well. Then The Whitechapel Fiend, again by Cassandra Clare, and I gave that one 5 stars because that one actually managed to link the storyline into Jack the Ripper. He was a serial killer in London, and they've somehow managed to link the Shadowhunter world with Jack the Ripper, and it was just really interesting, and it really captured my interest, and I thought, who is playing music? If you can hear this, I'm terribly sorry. I'm going to have to work on trying to actually cut it out of the video. I'm guessing you probably can hear it, and I don't know what to do about it. How dare people play music when I'm recording my video? It's not even good music. Nothing But Shadows by Cassandra Clare, I gave that one 4 stars. Then The Evil We Love by Cassandra Clare, I also gave that one 4 stars. Then I read something different. The 17th book I picked up was The Bones of You by Debbie Howells. I've actually done a separate video review for this book because it was just that good. I enjoyed it that much. I felt like it deserved the attention, so I'll link that down below if you want to check that out. I'm not going to say anything more about that one here because why would I when I've got a whole video about it already. Then the 18th book I picked up was Shadowhunters and Downworlders by Cassandra Clare. Well, it was edited by Cassandra Clare. The actual essays themselves in the book were by very many other authors. Some of them were great, some of them were not so good. One was truly awful, so I gave this book 2 stars overall. The one that was awful really made me want to rate the book 1 star, but I didn't think that was fair on the couple of essays I really enjoyed, so I bumped it up to 2 in the end. The essay that I didn't enjoy basically was because the author of that essay actually had the nerve to describe a gay person as queer. I'm not gay, but I have a few gay friends, and that just came across as really offensive to me. I couldn't believe that you could actually publish a book calling someone queer. Anyway, The 19th book I picked up was Pale Kings and Princes by Cassandra Clare, and I gave that one 5 stars as well. And I can't say anything about why I enjoyed that one so much and why I gave it 5 stars, because it would ruin literally everything. So just gonna have to trust me. The 20th book I picked up was The Shadowhunter's Codex by Cassandra Clare. And again, I thought that one was really good. I gave it 4 stars, but it actually had some formatting issues on Kindle, which I half expected, to be honest, because of the whole idea of it. It's basically a textbook of the Shadowhunter Codex, but then it's got little bits of writing from like Simon and Clary and also Jace, and it just doesn't format so well doing that in that way on a Kindle, but it's okay. If you really want to pick that one up, I highly suggest picking up a physical copy. The 21st book was another audiobook, and that was Saints of the Shadow Bible by Ian Rankin. I wasn't a massive fan of that one, I gave it 2 stars. Then the 22nd book, Confessions of a Queen Bee by Krista McHugh, and I gave this one 5 stars, and I raved about it quite a bit in my TBR takedown wrap up, so I'll leave that link down below. That one also has a bit more information on the Shadowhunter Codex, the Saints of the Shadow Bible, and also the 2 final books that I'm about to mention, which is The Selection and The Elite. So the last 2 books I read in the month were The Selection and The Elite, as I just mentioned, and I enjoyed them both a heck of a lot. I gave them both 5 stars. I read them both within a 24-hour period, not even that, less than that. I stayed up all night reading The Selection, I went to sleep, I got up and I carried on reading The Elite. I can't wait to continue on with the series. I have managed to conclude this video in quite record timing. I thought it would take me a lot longer than this. I'm really impressed at myself. It's taken 14 minutes to get to this point, so once editing's done, it'll probably be about just over 10 minutes, which is totally respectable, I think. So let me know if you've read any of these books down below. Let me know what you think to my new wrap-up schedule. I hope you'll enjoy it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done already, and I will see you on Wednesday with another video. Bye bye!